Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast, Scam Busters. I'm Marlena.
And I'm Phoebe. And welcome to episode 2 of our new podcast, Marlena. How exciting. And if you joined us last week we dived deep into the world of scams. We distinguished the difference between fraud and scams. And Marlena went into her personal story of what happened to her dad.
My God, yes.
And how he was scammed out of his life savings.
And today we're going to talk about you. So this episode is you. Unfortunately, Phoebe has been scammed, and please share the story.
Take it away. Look, so like many people, it was 10 years ago, something like that now. I was looking for a job, so I was on the job market. I was on Google, went into seek.com. Many of you know what Seek is. And basically, I was applying for, different type of positions, and I was in a situation where I was ready to go. I wasn't very educated on Seek at that time, and different type of employers that would advertise, as well as scammers or fraudsters that would be using that platform to advertise different type of jobs. So the job that I applied for was an administration role. And
but that could be any role.
Any role, absolutely, it could be in any role. And mine particularly is a very popular role that people have experience in, and it's the first thing that they see. And so I applied for this role, and I got an email back to say, hey, we'd love to have you on the team. And mind you, there was no formal interview, which should have been red flag number 1 for me. But that, as I said, I wasn't very aware at that time.
And probably you were very excited.
Absolutely. I got a job. Oh my goodness, I've got a job, administration. It's exciting. So I let it just fly over my head, really. So I applied for this job, Marlena, and got the email. We'd love to have you on board. There was kind of no background checks or anything done, but they did say to me, we need you to send us your IDs, for employment purposes. We need a copy of your license, your passport.
Probably bank details.
I cannot
for
remember.
Payroll?
Yes, that's right. I needed my bank details for payroll. So when I was going through the paperwork that they sent me, it looked like any normal job. Like
legit?
They're sending you legit. They're sending you all these details. Fill this out. It's for employment. Didn't think much of it. The next day, the manager emailed me to say, hey, this is what you're going to do. This is your role. You're going to be transferring money from this company to this company, taking stock of what's coming in, what's going out.
That was working from home?
Working from home, completely remote. And at that time, working from home wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
So again, another red flag that I should have, picked up, but I didn't. And to cut the long story short, really, is the next day I received money in my bank account. And so my manager was like, I need you to go to this place. I need you to send this money to this place. And it was somewhere in Ukraine, Russia, somewhere over there. So it wasn't in Australia. And I think at that point is when I was like, something isn't adding up. Something's not adding up.
Did they tell you to take some percentage from that?
They did.
Yeah, okay.
They did. And this is kind of where those red flags really started being in my face, because why am I taking a percentage? I don't know
from
how to
someone
do
else's
this.
money.
Exactly right. I'd never no training whatsoever. So this is day 2, right? Got the job offer day 2. This is all happening. And so I went to the police because I was scared. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I blocked the email from this manager, cut off all contact.
But you still had the money.
The money is in my bank account.
Okay.
So what do I do with this money? And it was quite a large sum of money. It wasn't just something small that could go away. So I went to the police, and at the time, the police, I think they weren't aware of what was happening as of yet. It wasn't.
The scam was very
new. Exactly right, Marlena. It was very new. And so the police said to me, you need to go to the bank and you need to tell the bank what's happening. This is some sort of, I wouldn't say they used the word fraud, but yes, this is something.
It's still fraud.
Something not right. So I went to the bank, I reported it. The bank was kind of like, leave it in our hands. And that's about it really. I never understood what had happened to the money. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. I was very scared at this point.
So you were used as a mule. You were a mule.
And when we started working together, Marlena, I remember telling you this story, and the first thing you did was look at me and say, "You are a mule."
You were, yes.
What is a mule? For people that don't really understand the term mule or don't know what it is.
Mule, you can be a mule. You should. Some people they know they're mule. Some people they don't. Like you didn't know that you're a mule. Mule. It means that illegal money is going through your account. So scammers, they don't want to use their own account. They don't want to use their name. So once they steal money from someone else, they have to put them somewhere, and that person is sending money usually to different account or most of the time now overseas. And that's what they ask you. So most likely they stole money from someone and they ask you to transfer money overseas. So they didn't use their own name. They used your name to sort of transfer money across.
Wow. And so are they using like the middle, the mule is basically like the middle person, you'd say? Like
it's sort of
like a...
It is middle person, but sometimes people, they don't even know that they're doing some illegal transaction. Some people are, they're happy, they got a job, and they don't sort of think. And once that happened, unfortunately, banks are flagging those transactions, those people as a mule. But like I said, you talk to your bank, they interview you. Most of the time, the money is reversed back to people who lost their money. So what I want to highlight pretty much from your story, don't provide your details if you're not 100% sure.
Absolutely.
Don't send your account details, your copy of your passport, copy of your driver's license. And especially when you've got those red flags. No interview. They never talk to you. How do they know if you even know how to type?
Exactly right.
So in those sort of scenarios, I would be very, very careful. If you never had an interview, don't send any of your personal details. If you're applying for a job, it has to be some sort of interview. Just be very, very careful.
Mindful. Absolutely. So this happened 10 years ago. The game has really changed now with social media coming in. How do you see these situations of people being mules like myself 10 years ago?
Look,
what different type of situations do you see happening?
Still happens, and pretty much exactly the same way. So they're still trying the same thing. But also through platform where you're applying for the job, not just to use people as a mule, but also those scammers, they might try to get your details. So once you send your driver's license, passport, those people, they can go to bank's website and apply for personal loan. They can apply for the credit cards. And we had quite a few situations where people came to the bank and they said, look, I've done my credit check and I noticed that there was application for $40,000 or whatever amount, but I never applied. And then we saw, when we try to, when we talk to the customers, they think, when my ID was compromised, and it happened quite a few times, that yes, they applied for the job, they sent all of the details, and those details were used to apply for personal loan credit cards.
And funnily enough that we're speaking about this today, in the news recently, the police have come out and spoken about how a lot of fraudsters or scammers, what we want to call them, they are actually using people's identities to apply for a large sum of credit, a large line of credit, and people have no idea until they go and check their credit score, or in a situation that I've seen working at the bank, until they receive a bank card that they never ordered.
Or bank statement. Because those scammers, they still using your ID, they're still using your address. And after 1 month, you get a bank statement that you owing this and that amount. And then those people, they come into the bank and they are sort of investigating. The second step would be, yes, check on your credit file, because that bank could be one of
Many.
quite a few. And I keep telling to my customers, please do not send your details.
Yeah.
I would go even a little bit further. I would say, don't even take a photo of your driver's license. Don't take a photo of your passport, because if something happened and your telephone or your mobile is or computer is compromised, or your emails are compromised, those scammers, they've got an access to all of your documents. And these days, to apply for personal loan, you have to put your details, your driver's license, your passport details into the system, and pretty much based on that, those loans are approved.
Yeah. And so, Marlena, what would be the top 3 signs that you are about to be a victim of a scam when it comes to applying for jobs online or purchasing something? Yeah.
No interview, and like you said, when they tell you to transfer money overseas, why? What's the purpose? And when your money actually ending up on your account, please report to the bank.
Yeah.
If it's legit, you'll get that money back, you transfer back. To be honest, transferring money for someone in behalf of someone else, 99.999% it's a scam, it's a fraud.
Yeah.
And you are used as a mule, so please don't do it.
So, Marlena, what conversation are you having in your office when someone who is a mule comes in? First of all, knowingly or unknowingly, what's going on there?
First we will probably check how that happened, how the money ended up on the account. And we sort of can tell straight away, like if in a scenario like yours, we would straight away say, yeah, it's a mule situation when you're transferring money to someone else's account. We will contact another department who has more visibility where the money came from. Maybe that person who transferred money already flagged that, or if not, the bank will contact the person and the person confirm, that money, because sometimes people are waiting 3 months or 6 months for the bank statement. Not everyone uses online banking. So if someone doesn't use online banking and statement cycle is every 3 months, they're waiting 3 months till they see that there was money stolen out of the account. So what the bank will do, will probably contact the person, send a letter. Letter will be sent, and they might try even verbally over the phone just to check if they transfer money to that account. But in a situation as like yours, pretty much we can tell straight away that the money has been stolen, and the money will be transferred back into the account where it came from.
Okay. So when you say the account that it came from, is this the original account, or are we talking about sent back to the victims?
The money probably will be sent to the victim, because there is always victim at the end of it. So at the end, definitely the money will be transferred to the victim, and the account which received the money will be blocked. But will be blocked not just for the withdrawal, but will be blocked for the deposit as well. So those fraudsters, they wouldn't be able to deposit, they wouldn't be able to mule money through that account. And unfortunately, the person who received fraudulent funds has to close the account and open a new one. So be very careful, because banks usually they're giving you only 1 or 2 second chances. So if that happened over and over and you just pretend, I didn't know, eventually you might be prohibited from the bank. Because if that happened once, okay, second time could happen, third time, sorry, you know what you're doing.
That was awesome, Marlena, and thank you for explaining, what mule is and my situation, because I was absolutely lost. I didn't know what was happening. up until I had a conversation with you and you explained it or outlined it, when I learnt the word mule. Before that, I had no idea. So I hope that I'm not the only one who learnt something new today, learnt a new word, and we appreciate you for listening in, for watching us, and please send through your questions, send through your own stories. We'd love to hear your stories. We'd love to feature them on our podcast.
And it's very important to talk about it.
Yeah.
And it may be someone else, from people you know, from family, some people who are desperate for a job, they will get some very similar scenario.
Yeah.
Please share with them, tell them those red flags, and be with us for episode 3.
Number 3.
Next week.
Already.
Thank
you
you
so much for tuning in. See you soon.
Bye.